What's going on, everybody? This is Benjamin Bokchoy bringing you another F1 2021 video. Today is the first weekly event ever in F1 2021, and as you can see, it's at Silverstone, Britain, just in time for the real-life race in Britain this week. Anybody excited about the sprint qualifying that they're implementing for the first time ever? I'm not really sure how that works. Still a bit confused. I've watched like 100 videos on it, and apparently none of it's made it into my brain because I'm still not really sure how that works. But yeah, the setup that I'm using is just something that I took from the top time trial times. Made a few little alterations here and there, but I'm not really sure if that even helped me or not. But I did end up getting a better time on my second and third runs. As you can see, my first run was pretty poor, 127.066. Still driving as if it's the 2020 game, you know, using the same braking points and turning in the same spots. But I know the change isn't too much for the 2021 game, but it's enough to throw me off anyway. So this is just my warm-up lap, my out lap. So I'm just gonna kind of talk a little bit over it. This left-hand corner right here seems a little bit easier for me to take than it did in the first game. Always had issues with that left-hand turn. The one before, the one that leads you down this straight. But in the 2021 game, it seems like it's a little bit easier for me to handle. Car seems, well, obviously it is very understeery compared to last year's car, but traction zones seem to be a lot better now, especially in the lower gears. In the 2020 game, you usually had a short shift to get decent traction out of corners, but this year you can get good traction out of even second gear. It's still a short shift due to habit anyway, but I'm not really sure if that really helps out or not. This is really only day 3. I played this game all day. Day 1 release on the 12th, and then because I didn't get any sleep for work yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday on Tuesday. So I ended up falling asleep right after work at about 3 in the afternoon and woke up at about 6 a.m. this morning. So, oh wait, geez, today's not Wednesday. Today's Thursday. I slept for like 15 hours and my days are all messed up right now. But anyway, this is my first attempt at the weekly event. I did do a little bit of practice before the qualifying session today, but before today I didn't really have too much running time on the Silverstone track. And it shows. You can see we're only about a 10th up from our poor first lap there. Like I said, still getting used to the handling model here, and trying to get into my head that I can actually get on the throttle a little bit earlier than I usually could in the 2020 game. So for those of you that have noticed that your lap times are probably a lot lower than they should be, even with slower cars, try throttling up a little bit earlier in the corner exit, because the traction's better on these cars. Dipping into the red there for a moment, but we've made our way back up into the green. And then I must have had a terrible final corner on the first lap because I made up almost half a second here on just the last couple of laps. So good enough for 126.6. I think the fastest times on the list was 125.2 or 125.3, I believe. And most of the top 10 were in the high 125s and low 126s, I think. I could be remembering that wrong. But yeah, just looking through the setup here, trying to see if I can find anything that might help me out. But I think I just pretty much stick with basically the same setup as the second lap here. And I'm sure there are only a few of you that don't know this, but the later into the qualifying session you go into, My cat is tearing at a cardboard box right now, and my girlfriend's yelling at him. But yeah, the later into a qualifying session you go into for your lap, the faster your laps are. I'm sure most of you already know that by now, but for the 2% of players that don't know, there you go. So anyway, here I go out for my final lap. I think I waited a little bit too long. There's a crap ton of traffic on track right now, and you'll eventually see that I think a handful of cars get out in front of me just because they really can't wait. But that's something to look out for, because the AI will just run into you for no reason. And it's especially worse this year, because last year they could just run into the back of you and destroy their front wing and you'd be fine. But obviously this year, now you can damage pretty much any part of your car. So even if they run into the back of you, they can destroy your wing, or if they hit your side pods. I was doing a race yesterday where, actually I think it was in the Make America Great Again video, where Russell ran into the side of me and actually hit my side pods, damaged my side pods, and Jeff came over and said, due to the damage on the side pods, I'll probably experience more drag on the car, which makes you a little bit slower. So yeah, do watch out for the AI. You can't just let them ram into you all willy-nilly this year like you could last year. But anyway, we let them through cleanly, and as soon as one passes, it looks like there's another one in the rear view mirror. And that's why I put up the rear view mirror. I just like to, especially in these practice sessions and with qualifying sessions here, sometimes I don't pay attention to the map, and the rear view mirror really lets me know if there's somebody behind me, especially in like an online race where people will kind of rage out if you mess up their lap, but don't think twice when they mess up your lap. So, but anyway, here we go. Final lap. Starting off really poorly, already in the red. Only a couple hundredths though, so it's not too bad. First corner, if you have a high enough wings, you can take the first corner flat out. So it's not quite like last year. I have 6.9 wings right now, and I think you can take it flat out in with 6.9 wings, but I didn't want to risk it anyway, just because I figured my time wasn't that amazing on my second lap. This corner feels even more understeery than last year, if that's at all possible. And this corner, that right-hand corner right there, is actually a lot better than last year. You get traction a little bit better and a little bit earlier in the exit. So that's nice. And obviously this corner, not quite as flat out as it used to be. Again, with 6.9 wings, if you have a good line, you can still hit that flat out. But I think during practice, I think my wings were at 7.10 before I was really comfortable taking that corner. I think that's Cops. I'm pretty sure that's Cops. The old turn 1 flat out. So 7.10 was where I was comfortable, but I think 6.9, 6.8 is doable if you have a good enough line. And we do make a little bit of improvement on our final lap here, just a little over a tenth of a second improvement there. So yeah, that was pretty fun. I'm glad that Silverstone was the first weekly event in this game, just because it's a track that I used to run a lot in the 2020 version, and I was pretty decent at it. So only 75th position. Oh, and by the way, if you didn't notice, no racing line. Decided that this year I'm not going to use the racing line whatsoever, even if that means I'm 3 seconds slower than everybody else. I've decided that F1 2021 is going to be strictly a no racing line game for me. But anyway, guys, thank you for checking this out. I do hope that it will help you out in your practice and qualifying and races this weekend. Remember to eat your pak choy. If you think I've earned it, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. And stay tuned for some more videos. All right, later, guys.